Good morning, everyone!
Hello, I'm Paolo del Rosario. Welcome to the almost the end of your week. We're going to try and get you there a bit quicker. Let's get you up to speed with some news that you could use right now.
Hello there, beautiful people. I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Yep, one day to go till Friday. Let's start the day right with a dose of laughter, inspiration, information, and unstoppable energy.
I'm Monique Tuzon. Happy Thursday. Your mornings are always no fun with us. Join us in the next hour and a half for stories and conversations that matter. We still have no Pope. There was a black smoke today.
Smoke, yes.
What time was it?
3 a.m.
Yeah,
Around 3 a.m. Yes.
You know, as expected, kasi
Yeah.
if you have a Pope
The
in the
first
very
day.
first day, grabe, I don't know. I don't know if that's
So it has
unprecedented.
never happened.
No, I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't know. Let me Google that while you guys
Because
converse.
Pope Francis was 2 days.
2 days, 2005 conclave, it lasted 2 days or 3 days?
So hopefully this is done by tomorrow, Friday.
Yes, I think 3 days
That'll
max.
be like 3 days.
Yeah, but it's not
hopefully.
really the number of days, number of ballots. So
Yeah.
typically it takes around 4, at least in the past few papal election conclaves that we've had. The shortest conclave was noong October pala, 1503. So not too long ago.
Wow, yeah, not too long ago.
Oo, mga ilang oras lang daw yung papal conclave
Oh,
na
so
yan.
that was the first round of voting. They already had
a
Pope.
choice.
That means,
Yeah, but then, you
yes.
know, that was after the Pope passed away. Pope Pius III passed away 13 days after it. All right, so that's just pure Google.
Us with a
Pero
bit of
October
history.
1503, that was the quickest conclave, apparently, according to the internet. But we're not having that this time around. Of course, a lot to still look for and pay attention to. But of course, until then, you know, we're gonna keep watching. Of course, our own Corinne Sanchez-Ross is there in the Vatican for our coverage, and I'm sure we're gonna get to hear more from her as soon as there are more developments moving forward.
Yes, but for now, let's find out what the traffic is looking like this Thursday
Yes,
for all the
let's
commuters.
go check out the roads and major thoroughfares this morning. Here is what's happening along EDSA Quezon Avenue flyover. If you are heading to Quiapo, if that is your destination, you will be slowing things down. Moderate to heavy traffic already building up on that stretch. As you can see on the left side of your screens, those are the vehicles going to Quiapo. On the opposite lane, right side, are vehicles headed to the Quezon Memorial Circle. We are also seeing moderate traffic on that stretch. Now let's take a look at EDSA White Plains this time. On the left side of your screens are vehicles going to Shaw Boulevard. Moderate traffic also already building up as of this hour if you're heading southbound. Now on the right side are vehicles heading to Cubao. No problem yet as of this hour. Now heads up to motorists. The expanded vehicle number coding scheme is in full swing. It's a Thursday, so vehicles with license plates ending in 7 and 8 should be off the road right about now until 10 a.m. and again later from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Let's find out what the weather is going to be like this Thursday. Paolo has the day's forecast from Weather HQ. Take it away, Pao.
Thanks so much, Mo. Let's take a look at the weather conditions as of 3 a.m. today. Now, the low pressure area that we were monitoring has been now seen by Pag-asa, last located at 80 kilometers northeast of Cuyo, Palawan. So it's right over here. Now, we were monitoring a couple of LPAs. It's the only one that's left here in the country, while the rest of the country remains under the influence of the easterly. So that's the winds coming in from the Pacific, affecting a majority of the country. Now, according to Pag-asa, as we focus on this LPA again, this LPA has a low chance of intensifying into a tropical cyclone. Nonetheless, it is expected to bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms to areas including Calabarzon, Mimaropa, the Bicol region, Visayas, and the Zamboanga Peninsula. So all of these areas affected right over here by the LPA. Now over in Mindanao, the easterlies will continue to cause intermittent rain showers and thunderstorms, especially over the Caraga and the Davao regions. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and most other areas in the country can expect partly cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, along with generally hot and humid conditions. However, as we mentioned, the rain showers and thunderstorms may develop particularly late in the afternoon or in the evening, so do watch out for all of that. Now, let's check out how the easterly winds are influencing weather conditions across the country. Let's check out how these patterns are impacting the latest heat index coming from Pag-asa. Now, leading today's heat index report are Dagupan in Pangasinan and Sangni Point in Cavite. 44 degrees Celsius. Here, a scorching hot 44 degrees Celsius, the highest in the nation for today. Now, closely following that, at a still blistering, 43 degrees Celsius, are Pasay City in Metro Manila, Sinaid in Ilocos Sur, Lawag, Ilocos Norte, and in Itiague and Isabela. So still very hot conditions there with 43 degrees Celsius. But that's not it. Other areas with the heat index 43 degrees Celsius include Iba in Zambales, Camiling in Tarlac, Masbate City, and Catarman in northern Samar. Meanwhile, other areas experiencing dangerous heat levels at 42 degrees Celsius include Tanawan in Batangas, Los Baños in Laguna, Calapan in Oriental Mindoro, Cuyo, Palawan, Daet, Camarines Sur, Rojas City in Capiz. Now, due to these extreme temperatures, Pag-asa advises everyone to stay well hydrated, avoid extended outdoor activities, and pay extra attention to children, the elderly, and those with pre-existing medical conditions. Now, as for sea conditions, there was an LPA, but there are no gale warnings that are in effect. So sea conditions nationwide are calm to moderate and generally safe for small vessels. Now, winds and waves remain light, but mariners and fisherfolk should stay alert and check updates before heading out. And that is it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls.
Thank you so much, Pao, for that weather update. On to our top stories this morning. In Vatican City, black smoke emerged from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel 3 a.m. this morning, signaling an inconclusive first vote by the cardinals in a conclave to elect a new pope. Thousands of faithful gathered in St. Peter's Square, waiting for smoke to pour from a narrow flue on the roof of the chapel. The black smoke appeared more than 3 hours after the start of the conclave, which was an hour more than it took for smoke to be seen after the first vote in 2013 conclave that elected the late Pope Francis. When a new pope is chosen, white smoke will emerge from the chimney.
A cardinal is asking the faithful for prayers as the world awaits a new pope. In a video, Cardinal Timothy Dolan, the Archbishop of New York, says he is grateful for those who are praying for them, especially in this pivotal time for the Catholic Church. The cardinals are already inside the Sistine Chapel, isolated from the world to elect the man they hope can unite a diverse but divided global church.
I don't know how long the conclave will be. Santa Marta, this is where we cardinals stay, named after Saint Martha. Remember her? Some of the best friends of Jesus, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus in Bethany. And they often invited Jesus for hospitality and relaxation. So this was named after Saint Martha, who took care of hospitality for Jesus. And they do a good job of hospitality for us. Now, we leave here and go over to the Sistine Chapel every day for our prayers and for our voting, but this is where we reside. So folks, I won't be able to talk to you until you see the white smoke. I look forward to doing that. Keep us in your prayers. I mean that. I'm so moved and grateful for the many assurances and prayers that you've been so graciously offering up to the Lord on our behalf. And I need them, and I can sense that they're very tangible, the fruits of those prayers, so keep them up, all right? Talk to you soon.
Filipino Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle is among the top contenders to succeed Pope Francis as the next leader of the Catholic Church. Agenda anchor Corina Sanchez Rojas got to speak to Italian journalist and author Roberto Alborghetti, who shared why he's personally rooting for Cardinal Tagle to become the next Pope.
So you know of our Filipino Cardinal Tagle?
Yes, I know because I met him during my work, during my research about Pope Francis, because I wrote 7 books about Pope Francis, and I wrote 2 when Pope Francis visited Philippines. And I was really, how do you say, impressed about Cardinal Tagle, because of his words, so simple but so deep. And I remember when Pope Francis in Philippines, in Manila, talked about our need to be simple in education, to communicate to our sons, to our daughters, the idea of the dream. We have to dream. And I remember Cardinal Tagle was really moved by this word, and so we published also a lot of photos about the meeting.
So you were telling me a while ago that you are actually rooting, hoping that Cardinal Tagle makes it.
Yes, I think in if we see what the bookmakers are saying, outside and inside Vatican, I think Tagle is one of the leaders of this list, and so I think is the time to open the doors to Philippines, to Eastern world. This is the dream of Pope Francis. The new church is in the eastern part of the world.
Poll service provider Miru Systems assures the integrity of the automated counting machines that will be used in the May 12 elections. They say they follow all industry standard of the security features for the machines. Miru has delivered over 110,000 new ACMs to the Commission on Elections. Miru Systems is in charge of scanning the ballot, counting votes in each precinct, and printing election returns, while another party, I1, will be responsible for transmitting the results.
We follow industry standard of the security features. We do have 14-inch screen for the voter to check their ballot marks. And we also have auto alignment to make sure that there'll be almost no paper jam. Okay? And we also have QR codes to make sure that they're verified after the voting hours.
Malolos, Bulacan was a campaign ground for the Alianza slate yesterday as President Marcos's senatorial bets visited the voter-rich province. Former Senator Manny Pacquiao was endorsed by re-electionist Bulacan Governor Daniel Fernando. Pacquiao promised, should he be elected, to support the establishment of flood control systems and disaster preparedness programs. Meanwhile, 4 Alianza bets were endorsed by the Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura Group. Former Senate President Tito Soto, Las Piñas Representative Camille Villar, former DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos, and former Senator Ping Lacson, who the Agri Group says will be a great help to the agricultural sector of the country. Despite the local support, the use of Bulacan State University for a press conference by the candidates was condemned by student activists who rallied in protest outside the venue where they were met by police.
Former President Rodrigo Duterte advised his youngest daughter, Kitty Duterte, to follow in his footsteps and join politics. This is what his longtime partner, Hanilet Avancenia, said during the meeting de avance of PDP Laban senatorial candidate Rodante Marcoleta at the Philippine Arena in Bulacan on Tuesday.
Ako ay isang 21-year-old college student lamang at ayaw ko sanang makisali sa politika. Pero nang dahil sa pagkidnap at pag-abuso nila sa tatay ko, nandito ako ngayon para ipaglaban hindi lamang ang pamilya ko, kundi ang bansang Pilipinas.
Alam mo, umiiyak yung anak ko kasi kung pwede lang sana hindi siya mapasok sa politika. Narinig ko, sinabi ng papa niya, mag-aral ka at sumunod ka rin sa yapa ko.
Kitty and her mother also attended the campaign rally of PDP Laban senatorial candidates in Alabang, the party's last stop before their meeting the Avance in Manila. Based on surveys, only Bongo and Bato de la Rosa out of the so-called Duterte are in the projected winning circle of senators.
Las Piñas Councilor Mark Anthony Santos has petitioned COMELEC to disqualify Senator Cynthia Villar, his rival for Las Piñas representative. Santos alleges that Villar violated election laws when she appeared at 2 events for the distribution of aid to senior citizens of the city on April 23 to 24. He noted that Villar delivered a speech and shook hands with participants in the event.
Hindi magiging fair ang eleksyon kung pababayaan natin na yung mga mayayamang kandidato will take advantage of the law or the situation during the campaign period. It's about time siguro na the COMELEC or kasi paano mo lalabanan ito? Ang gumagawa ng batas, syempre yung mga nagbabiolate ng batas.
Senatorial bet and former Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos is confident in his chances in next week's polls. That's despite results from pre-election surveys showing him just outside the projected winning circle. On Bilyonaryo News' channels At the Forefront, Abalos also said he has no regrets about staking his executive position to run.
Well, I came from number 35. So I crawled my way to the position. And now, statistically, I'm within the magic 12. Medyo marami lang nga kami. So this is the last final push, but the trajectory is very, very good.
In world news, strife between Pakistan and India picks up heat in their worst clash in more than 2 decades. This after India struck Pakistan and Pakistan Kashmir with missiles on Wednesday, killing at least 31 civilians. Pakistan vowed to retaliate, saying it shot down 5 Indian aircraft. A larger military conflict is feared between the 2 most dangerous and most populous nuclear-armed countries. U.S. President Donald Trump holds his first meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney. Overall, the talks in the Oval Office were cordial. But Trump admits there are issues dividing the 2 countries, including his tariffs and his belief that Canada should become the 51st U.S. state, an idea quickly rejected by Carney.
Well, I still believe that, but you know, it takes 2 to tango, right? But no, I do. I mean, I believe it would be a massive tax cut for the Canadian citizens. You get free military, you get tremendous medical cares and other things. There would be a lot of advantages, but it would be a massive tax cut.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, you know, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
And having met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months, it's not for sale, won't be for sale ever.
Still in the U.S., the federal health agency's plans to create a database of autism patients enrolled in Medicare and Medicaid. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said researchers will use the data to study the causes of autism spectrum disorder. This project is part of a wider $50 million research effort on autism, which Kennedy characterized as an epidemic that could be prevented. The project sparked concerns on data privacy and eugenics. But the agencies assure they will comply with privacy laws and that researchers will focus on autism diagnosis over time.
Over in sports, the Indiana Pacers extend their lead against the Cleveland Cavaliers in epic fashion in the NBA playoffs. The Pacers are raced Saturday, still in the land. Over in the West, Golden State Warriors powered through against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Game 1 of their semifinal series. The Dubs tamed the T-Wolves in Minneapolis. Buddy Hield dropped 24 points, while Jimmy Butler added 20 markers and 11 rebounds. Draymond Green added 18 points and 8 boards, as well as the Warriors kept their momentum from their first-round win against Houston. However, didn't come at a price. Warriors main man Steph Curry went down in the second quarter due to a left hamstring strain. Curry finished with just 13 points, but in 13 minutes of play. Game 2 between the Dubs and Timberwolves is on Friday.
Now in entertainment, Disney announces plans to open its first theme park in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. Disney plans to build the waterfront, a resort on Yas Island, a popular tourist destination that recorded more than 34 million visitors in 2023. While no opening date was announced, Disney officials say that a project like this could take a year or two to design and another 4 to 6 years to build. Disney CEO Bob Iger says the park will be authentically Disney and distinctly Emirati, an oasis of extraordinary Disney entertainment that is at the crossroads of the world. In local entertainment, mark your calendars, icons. Global girl group Cat's Eye announced the release of their second extended play titled Beautiful Chaos on June 27, and you won't want to miss it. The multinational 6-member group, which includes Filipino Sofia La Forteza, teased their comeback on their social media pages. The teaser photos feature the girls lying atop cars and posing in an outdoor picnic setting with lots of fruits. Beautiful Chaos follows Cat's Eye's single Gnarly and their first ever EP, Soft is Strong. And a new trailer for the upcoming live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon has been released. And it shows more of Toothless and Hiccup's journey. Let's watch this. We have to watch this.
That looks so realistic. My goodness.
It's a real person, huh?
And it's a real dragon.
The real dragon, because we wanted to have pet dragons. That would be so nice.
Watch any movie. Again, any movie. Dragons are...
Yeah, they're looking more and more realistic.
Look at that.
Swear.
Diba? Ang galing.
They're so cute.
I'm really happy, though, that a new generation will get to watch this.
Yes.
Because I really enjoyed obviously the original run of the animated films.
And
so,
it looks very, I don't know, it just looks amazing. Very Harry Potter meets Vikings.
Although the dragons in Harry Potter probably look scarier, but this one, look at that.
It just looks so cool. I can't wait to be taken to that world.
I am so amazed by, film technology now, how they can make it look so realistic. And it's so true to the cartoon as well. When you look at
You saw the cartoon, huh?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No, she has yet to watch it.
I know, right? Have you seen it, Anne?
So I'm able to compare the features, the details. It's so true to the cartoon, but this one will definitely be so much better.
Oh, it looks so
look
good.
at that.
I can't wait.
Oh my God.
June, when is it coming? June 27? June 27 ba?
I believe so. But either way, look, it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for this. And I want to see, how they develop the world even further. And of course, if they're going to change anything, I think that's what's going to be really interesting. But yeah, we have a lot of that coming up very, very soon. And of course, after this, though, we have something a bit more serious coming up,
Yes.
especially when it comes to, I think parents will be really interested in this one.
Yeah, I am interested in this one. So a resurfaced video online renews the conversation about the extremes of school bullying. That discussion after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. and welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. A word of caution to our viewers. This discussion includes themes of bullying and violence among children. There has been growing outrage online over a resurfaced video that shows the violent extremes of school bullying. How can parents and school authorities work together to make schools safer and more supportive for victims? Joining us via Zoom today is psychologist Joey Intac. It's a beautiful day. Joey, welcome back to the show, second time around to be guesting on It's a Beautiful Day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, Monique. No, thank you so much again for inviting me here in your program.
Actually, Joey, it's Anne. Monique is right here, and we have
Anne,
Paolo.
yeah, Monique and
Yes.
Paolo. Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, Joey, you know what? I saw this video, and I'm a mom myself, and my heart was just broken when I saw this group of young girls bullying this poor girl. She was on the ground, she was crying, and it was really intense physical bullying. When young people gang up and violently attack a peer, what might be going on in their minds at that moment? What is really going on in the mind of a bully? Is it all about power, or could it be something deeper?
Yes, thank you so much, Monique. Nakakalungkot, no, itong mga balita na to. But pero nangyayari na to sa community natin. One of the reasons kung bakit ganito is peer pressure, no, peer pressure. Babalikan natin yung brain ulit. Yung brain natin, kung makikita mo sa brain natin sa mga kabataan, meron tayong tinatawag na prefrontal cortex. Medyo ano lang tayo, no, medyo technical. Yung prefrontal cortex, for them, it's still developing. So, ano ibig sabihin? Ang prefrontal cortex, this is responsible for decision making. No, ibig sabihin, dahil hindi pa ito nade-develop, they have this more risky behavior. No, they have more risky behavior and they don't know the consequence of their behavior. And that's why they have also lack of confidence. No, ibig sabihin nito, it's deeper pa yung pinanggagalingan nito. No, pag sinabi natin lack of confidence, kumukuha sila ng validation group, no, kaya sumasali sila sa mga ganitong uri ng grupo, no. And they have also the desire of social acceptance. No, nag-uugat yan sa family, no, sa community, that they don't have the acceptance per se, no. Kaya kinukuha nila sa grupo na sinasalihan nila. And pangalawa, the reason why these people gang up and do violently attack a peer, it's because of this displaced aggression. So, ano ibig sabihin ng displaced aggression? They are unable to express anger directly towards the source of their frustration. Ibig sabihin nito, imbes na doon mismo sa direct na event, sa direct na tao nila gamitin yung aggression, ginagamit nila sa iba. No? Kasi hindi nila kayang balikan. Like for example, pag nagalit yung parents nila sa kanila sa bahay, hindi naman nila pwedeng balikan yung nanay nila. Sa iban sila, na we're in target nila. No, ito nga nakita natin sa video, no, yung bata na powerless, no, na sila they would like to put power in there. No, and also impaired empathy, no. Kaya nakita din natin na dapat talaga sa mga bata magkaroon ng malasakit sa isa't isa na nagsisimula din talaga sa bahay. So ito yung nag-uugat sa pinakamarami pang mga dahilan, no. Ayun. So yun yung doon.
Yeah, na-mention niyo po that peer pressure is obviously one of the bigger factors, and of course, yung social acceptance, trying to be accepted by their peers. Pero at the same time, sir, when you take a look at yung decision-making process na yun, I understand na hindi pa developed yung prefrontal cortex nila. But when you look at the fact that, again, parang the power of peer pressure, just how big of a factor is that really? Kasi syempre, madaling sabihin na, you don't have to follow person X or person Y. But then at the end of the day, sa age group na yun, in particular, it may be more powerful than more people understand.
Yeah, ganun yung peer pressure, malaki talaga ang factor nito kasi they have this what we call yung validation. Kaya kinukuha nila ito sa ibang tao. Kaya nga ang lagi nating sinasabi dito na ang social media is their extension of themselves. No, the more likes na marireceive nila, ibig sabihin, it's a validation. Tama lang pala yung ginagawa ko. Tama lang pala yung pinopost ko. Kahit na tingin naman natin na hindi naman talaga tama or mali na talaga. It's because they, 'di ba, the more na makakita tayo ng likes, hearts sa pinopost natin kahit mali na, they believe tama yung ginagawa nila. It's because, again, it's a form of validation, no? And also, peer pressure is really rampant nowadays sa mga kabataan, no? Kasi sabihin nila, hindi ka na namin kaibigan, no? Kung hindi ka sasali sa amin. No, kailangan din nila kasi ng support group na tingin nila na ito ang gagawin natin. Kapag ka hindi mo ginawa to, hindi ka na out ka na sa group. So ganun kayong ka powerful ang peer pressure na to the extent na kaya na nilang gawin yung manakit ng ibang tao without empathy or malasakit sa iba.
Yeah, you mentioned social media and getting that validation. You know, it boggles my mind that while they're bullying this girl, they're also taking a video to post on social media, which is crazy. So would you say validation is the reason why they're also taking the video? Or is there another motive behind that?
Bukod dyan, bukod sa validation, meron bang ibang mga motive? No? Maraming factor yan. Katulad ng poverty, family issues, no? And also attention. Yan. So, may mga kabataan kapag sinabi kasi nating ay magva-viral to, no? Kapag nag-viral, mapapansin ako. So they also taking attention from the social media, no? Magiging sikat ako, no? Kahit na may mga na kahit na i-record nila yon, i-record ko to, no? Alam kahit na tingin natin na hindi naman nakatanggap-tanggap, pero the more kasi na mag-viral, they believe na sige, ipopost ko to kahit na hindi ito okay. Or minsan, isa din sa dahilan ay yung control, no? Kung kaya katulad nito, kaya ko siya, ako ang may control, lahat makakakita niyan, no? So ibig sabihin nito, siya ang may control sa lahat, no? Kumbaga, kaya niyang gawin, kaya niyang i-post 'yon kasi kaya niya, andun pa rin yung power, no? Again, nagsisimula ito sa tinatawag nating the word na viral, no? Kakulangan sa empathy. No, nagsimula ito sa bahay na kung saan dapat doon binibuild yung malasakit sa isa't isa, na may respeto, no? Kailangan na hindi lang ako pala nabubuhay sa mundong to, meron pa palang iba. It starts from childhood. No, 'di ba nung bata tayo, meron tayong tinatawag na akin lahat to. Furthermore, naman tayo, meron pa palang ibang tao. No? So, dapat ma-impose dun, o makita din sa bahay na meron pa palang ibang tao na nag-i-exist din. Mga ganong sistema.
Joey, you know, I'm a mom and my daughter sadly experiences bullying in school, verbal bullying, not really physical bullying, but the good thing about that is we raised our daughter to be open to us. So she always tells us, pag binubully siya sa school, kinikwento niya talaga sa amin and how she feels inside. So we are aware of what's happening to our daughter. But teenagers, madalas yan, hindi sila magsasalita. They will not tell their parents, they will not tell their teachers kasi they feel na it's a sign of weakness or they're just afraid of letting their emotions out. Now, for parents of those kids na they don't open up to them, what are the signs that they can watch out for to know that their child is being bullied or is turning into a bully?
Yan. Alright. No, so, isa sa mga paraan din para lalo makita ng parents or maspat na mga magulang na ang anak ba nila nabubuli na or bully na ba sila. So kapag being bullied, sila na yung nabubuli, no, there's a sudden withdrawal. So remember, usually mga parents or yung ang una makakapansin nito, ayaw na nilang makipaghalubilo, no? There's a sudden change of withdrawal. Mga hindi maipaliwanag na sugat sa katawan, mga galo sa katawan, tapos pag tinanong mo, ay ano lang to, they make excuses, no? And isa din sa nakikita natin yung avoiding schools. Na pag sinabi natin avoiding schools, oo, pag narinig pala nila yung school, naisip pala, naamoy pa lang nila, na nakikita pala nila sa picture yung school, takot na sila, no, mga ganung bagay. And also, they have these changes in eating and sleeping patterns. No, ibig sabihin, nagbabago yung konti ang tulog, hindi makahanap ng tulog, o minsan hindi makakain, o sobra naman yung kain. Pag may mga ganong sudden changes. Pag mga bully naman, kapag anak nyo napapansin nyo na parang bully na siya, ang isa sa mga signal dyan ay yung aggression. No? Parang nananakit na sila ng kapatid, na hindi naman nila ginagawa nung before. No? Kumbaga, madalis na rin sila magmura, no? May lack of empathy. No, and they have this, but they call the manipulative behavior, no, nangungontrol na ng iba para makuha ang gusto nila, and they dominate others, no. No, they enjoy dominating, they enjoy hurting others, no. So ano yung mga red flag na kailangang tingnan ng mga magulang? There's a sudden interest in violence. No, nanonood palagi ng mga violent movies, no. Mama, pwedeng ganoon. Nag-start na magmura, mag-start ng magkaroon ng mga sinusulat na they love hurting others, no. So those are the things that parents should do, spotting if their child is being bullied or already a bully na.
So Joey, of course, we're talking about the bullying as it happens, especially how to identify it when it comes to yung victim, and of course when it comes to the bully itself. But at the same time, rin, looking from I've seen a lot of parents in particular say na hindi naman bullying ang anak ko, or hindi naman yan bullying. Sometimes there's some people who they would argue that there are some people who are not used to criticism, especially when it comes to sa trabaho nila, yung work nila, especially if it's a creative field or maybe athletic field, na minsan sabihin sila na, okay, this is not how it should be done. And some people, some kids do take yung criticism as bullying minsan. Where do you draw the line when it comes to that in terms of criticizing for improvement na constructive to actual bullying of a person?
Yan, alright. Pag sinabi na kasi natin criticism, yung nabanggit nyo kanina, it's a constructive criticism. Usually kasi sa school, madalas yan yung competition nangyayari. Competition sa pagalingan sa grades, pagalingan sa ginagawa. And that's what we call constructive. Dapat yun ang mabuild sa kanila yung competence at the end of the day. So paano natin malalaman na hindi na ito criticism, kundi bullying na ito? Again, dalawa ang elemento ng bullying, no? Ito yung repetition, paulit-ulit na pananakit, paulit-ulit. It could be verbal, it could be cyberbullying, no? Paulit-ulit yan, araw-araw na siya pa rin ang target. At yung power, this person really dominate others, na kami ang may kakayanan gawin ito, wala nang iba, no. So sa dalawa, criticism is a form, or it is a normal way of life sa mga bata. Pero pag sinabi natin bullying, this is a no-no talaga, no? Kasi ginagamitan na ito ng pananakit, ginagamitan na ito ng pamamahiya na nakita din natin sa video, no?
You know, we talked about what motivates a bully to bully kids. Now let's talk about the psychological damages it does to the actual victim, especially in this case, the poor girl who got beaten up in public. So what damage does it do to her, and especially how is it going to affect her growing up?
Yeah, alright. Ang epekto nito ay marami at tumatagal, no? Ang isa na dito sa nakikita natin ay yung tinatawag nating traumatic experiences, kasi it's a form of traumatic, no? So it could lead into post-traumatic stress, no? Hindi pa natin ito masasabi na disorder kasi wala pa, no? Pero ang laki ng effect nito, katulad ng anxiety, no? Kapag tumagal, hindi ka agad mabigyan ng proper intervention, it could lead into also depression, no? And also magkakaroon din sila ng flashback, no, pag nababalikan nila yung pangyayari, kahit maliit lang na away, no, kahit nakikita nilang sa TV na mayroong away, yan, mayroong sapukan, nagfa-flashback bumabalik agad sa kanila. At ano yung nangyayari? Na nanginginig sila, no? Physical lagi ang epekto nito, no? And also sleep disturbances, no? Hindi sila makatulog, hindi makahanap ng tulog o sobra-sobra ang tulog yung again, ito naglalast ito ng mga months or years. Also, dahil sa pag-post ng video na ito sa social media, they will feel napahiya sila. Shame and reduced self-worth. Tingin nila, wala na silang silbi. Bakit pa pinost yun? They will also lead into self-confidence or low self-confidence. At marami pa mga psychological impact na talagang makaka-apekto sa bata in the long run. So, kailangan talaga ng proper intervention.
Joey, ano ba ang role talaga ng schools, in preventing bullying? Kasi most of the time, this happens within the campus, within the school premises, right? So, what is the role of the school to prevent this from happening? In your experience, ano yung mga interventions that work? Should it be like a zero tolerance approach, or mas makakatulong yung empathetic and parang rehabilitation? So which process is actually more effective?
Yun. Ang maganda din na gawin ay they must use these moments as teaching opportunities, no, for the schools. Kasi educators should initiate conversations about empathy, yung kanina nga, na hindi lang ikaw yung nandito, there are also other people, no, na dapat pagkaroon ng malasakit. And pwede rin ituro sa mga bata ano ba yung empathy, ano ba yung impact ng violence sa kanila, and the dangers of normalization. Kasi may mga bagay tayong nino-normalize ngayon. Yung pananakit, no, normal lang kaya hindi ako talaga sa pananakit, pamamaraan ng pananakit bilang paraan ng pagdidisiplina, no. Kasi sinasabi lang natin dito na nino-normalize lang natin, dapat lang to saktan kasi nakagawa tong na mali. Pero may mga sa insidente na ito, hindi natin nakikita na nino-normalize na pala natin yung mga bagay na hindi na pala dapat. Na dapat ito yung magiging teaching opportunities for schools, and it is also important to help kids critically reflect on what they watch and understand the real life consequence of everyone's involved. No, para naman sa mga bata, pwede rin nilang gawin itong maging reflection. Ano ba yung pwede mag-ugat nito? Ano ba yung pwede ano ba yung epekto nito sa akin? At ano ba yung magiging epekto natin? So kaya kailangan talaga yung andun yung pag nanonood yung mga bata, katulad ng gatong mga violent acts, dapat ma-explain din sa kanila ano ba yung pinapanood nila, paano nila ito, parang it's a form of reflection, no? Paano ba nila ito nakita, anong naramdaman nila, yan. Ano naramdaman nila nung nakita nila ito, anong naisip nila nung nakita nila ito. It's a form of it's a form of bonding din for parents, no, na makita din itong videos para at least makita din na hindi lang pala dapat may mga bagay na nino-normalize tayo nowadays. Na ang pananakit ay pananakit. Period. Hindi yan dahil ganito, wala na nang iba yan. Pananakit ay pananakit talaga yan. It's either verbal, physical man yan, or psychological or emotional. Ayan.
Thank you so much, Sir Joey. Really appreciate all of that. Alam ko mabigat yung topic natin this morning, but in a conversation that we must have for sure. Before we let you go, anong advice niyo po for the parents who are concerned that baka nga that their child may be a bully or may be the bullied before we let this go? Kasi syempre, medyo concerning nga ang video na nakita natin.
Yan. Oo, para sa mga magulang, no, turuan sa bata pa lang. Nagsisimula sa bata ang kagandahang asal, no? Turuan ng mga bata na ano ba ang mga red flags ng bullying, paano na ba nila makita, and also proper communication sa bata, no? Huwag niyo silang gawing pag nag-share sila sa inyo o pag nagsabi sa inyo, pag nag-share sila na experience sa inyo, huwag ka agad mag-judge. Ikaw kasi, no? Bakit mo kasi ginawa yon? Mga ganong bagay.
Yes.
try to listen to them, no?
Yes.
Kasi minsan 'di ba ang mga bata mas gusto pa nila mag-share ng nararamdaman nila sa mga kaibigan. Kasi
that's true.
they're being accepted by their by their friends, no, by their peers na binibigyan pa nila ng pagkakataon, sige, okay lang yan, mga ganun. So, dapat sa parent magsisimula yan.
Yes.
And dapat wala mo ng judgment. Huwag ka agad i-judge na, ano ba ginawa mo sa school? Ako na naman, pinatawag na naman ako ng guidance. Try to listen to the child. No, kailangan talaga pakinggan mo na siya. Intindihin bakit ganun ang nangyari. At, ang kailangan lang talaga dito na nandun ka palagi, na andito ako kung kailangan mo ako. No?
That's
So,
right.
guidance din. No? Huwag siyang turuan kung anong gawin. Basta andito lang ako. Kaya kung kailangan mo ako, andito yung si mami o si daddy na
Right.
nakikinig sa'yo. Yun. So, importante yun, no? Yung mga ganung bagay.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Constant communication talaga within the family is very, very important. And yung presence ng magulang sa buhay ng mga anak nila. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great conversation
you.
with psychologist Joey Intac. Thank you, Joey.
We've got more stories for you after the break. Don't go away. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching. It's a beautiful day. We have more news for you this morning. The Commission on Elections says they are supporting tax exemption for teachers who are on duty for the midterm polls next week. This comes after the Alliance of Concerned Teachers pushed for overtime pay, which includes a standard 25% of overtime premium. The polls will open on May 12 at 5 a.m. for senior citizens, pregnant women, and persons with disabilities. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia says he's all in for the additional benefits for the teachers who will serve as members of the Electoral Board.
Kaya nga nilaban po natin yung dagdag na honoraria para po sa kanila across the board. Sana nga po mapakinggan ng ating Kongreso muli. Yung pong panawagan na wag na natin silang itak sa kanila pong makikitain sa araw po ng eleksyon.
As long as nasa batas naman po yan ay i-implement po natin. Ang problema ay wala pong exemption na pagdating sa batas natin yan. So kinakailangan po talaga na may mapatawan ng buwis. May honoraria na yan kasi papasok doon sa pondo ng DepEd na pangsweldo nila. So papasok po siya sa kita nila as employees, as teachers. So talagang papasok siya doon sa bracketing. Kaya naman ang ibig sabihin yan ay parte ng kanilang salary.
The LTO says most road crashes last year all boiled down to one thing: driver error. With over 31,000 incidents recorded, the agency is stepping up its presence on expressways, rolling out new enforcers and reforms to stop preventable deaths. Our mobility correspondent G. Baroga has more.
Zero accident. That's the big goal of the Land Transportation Office. The deputized enforcers are now being deployed across the country's expressways. This nationwide crackdown follows a surge in deadly crashes, most of them caused not by bad roads or weather, but by human error. According to the PNP Highway Patrol Group, over 31,000 road crashes were recorded in 2024, over 4,000 of which happened on expressways. And the main culprit? Reckless driving. From overspeeding to improper turns, basic driver mistakes continue to top the list of crash causes, avoidable errors that are proving fatal. Most of the crashes involve cars, which account for more than 17,000. Motorcycles came in next with over 15,000 incidents, while buses were involved in just over 1,000.
Ang problema pag bus ang involved, more often than not, may fatalities. Diba? Pag sa expressway nangyari, it's not much. 13% of all accidents happen inside the expressway. Karamihan ng expressway natin are all located here in Luzon. Isa lang ang nasa Cebu.
That's why the LTO is boosting its presence in expressways, from more enforcers to more lights, speed guns, and mobile patrols operating round the clock. And reforms are also underway in how drivers are trained and licensed.
Wala nang face-to-face kasi baka doon pa nagkakaroon ng magic. No? With this development, once we complete this entire infrastructure, this online infrastructure, then lahat po ng ating loopholes sa driver's license natin, masasagot na po natin. Strict implementation lang.
Transport Secretary Vince Dizon earlier said the government is open to teaming up with the private sector and civil society groups to tackle road safety together.
And yes, we will work with them. No? We will work with the different groups and consult with them and ask for ideas and also help in enforcement. No? Kasi importante dito and help in also bringing to our information all these incidents.
The message is clear. Most crashes are preventable, and road safety isn't just up to the government, it's everyone's responsibility. So whether you're driving a car, a motorcycle, or a bus, drive safe and help prevent another life lost on our roads. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
CESA Administrator Katrina Ponce Enrile on party mode as she celebrates her 65th birthday. Among her many attendees, a controversial former chief of staff of her father, Juan Ponce Enrile. Hannah T. reports.
When the daughter of a political titan turns 65, she celebrates in style, not once but twice. CESA Administrator Katrina Ponce Enrile marked her birthday with two separate celebrations. One at Cerveceria, a posh Kabalan group spot in BGC, and another at the private home of longtime friend Rico Ocampo. The BGC gathering was filled with culinary delight as Katrina's circle got together with her longtime friend Robert Castañeda playing host. It also saw the return of a familiar face, Gigi Reyes, the ever-loyal former chief of staff to Katrina's father, Juan Ponce Enrile, making a rare public appearance since her release from detention for nearly 9 years over the PDAF case. Gigi's relationship with Katrina's father was dragged into the spotlight after being accused of conspiring with the former senator to divert pork barrel funds to fake NGOs in exchange for kickbacks. She was seated beside Katrina as friends serenaded the CESA chief with a happy birthday. They also danced to Earth, Wind and Fire's September in a night filled with nostalgia and Spanish dishes. While another intimate dinner at Ocampo's residence brought together society staples, Tessa Prieto, designer Randy Ortiz, Michelle Tianco, and other close friends of Katrina. A lawyer, entrepreneur, and government official, Katrina has been CESA chief since 2023, continuing the Enrile legacy in public service. Hannah T. Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Filipinos across Europe gather for a vibrant 4-day celebration of faith, culture, and community. Our Europe correspondent Dick Villanueva has this report.
Some 2,000 pilgrims and devotees went to Venice, Italy for European Sinulog 2025. They include visitors from various parts of the continent including Austria, Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, Spain, Switzerland, and United Kingdom. The 4-day celebration was led by the Filipino Catholic community of Venice in collaboration with the Fiesta Senior Executive Committee of Italy, supported by the Patriarch and local government of the city of Venice.
So ating pagdiriwang ngayon ng European Fiesta Senior ay mahigit 10 taon na at kasalukuyan po lumalahok ngayon dito ang mahigit 15 mga estado ng ating European, lalo't higit ang nagmula pa sa USA. At ang kapistahan ngayon dito ng European Kaplag Sinulog Festival dito sa Venice ay pinaghandaan po ng Venice bilang host ng 2 taon na pinangunahan ng ating mahal na pari si Padre Enrico Valderrama at kanyang mga kasamahan, community at ang civic community.
The program kicked off with a salvo and walk with Mary and Niño, accompanied by the Holy Rosary procession repeated in different European languages. It was followed the next day by the veneration of the Holy Child, a Pasundayag cultural religious show, and Salu-Salu evening. On the third day, there was a catechism and pluvial procession held at the Sea of Venice. The fest culminated with a pontifical Fiesta Senior Mass that was presided by the Apostolic Nuncio Archbishop Bernardito Ausa, Didio Bispain and Andorra, and the concelebrating bishops, Bishop Oscar Jaime Florencio of the Military Ordinariate of the Philippines and Bishop Roberto Santos of the Diocese of Antipolo Rizal, and chaplains throughout Europe. Highlight of the event was the Kaplag, the Sinulog Street Dancing Parade, which was lasted 3 hours with 36 official participants and 17 official competition contingent for the grand competition. Dublin, Ireland won Best in Choreography for Street Dancing, while Vicenza, Italy won Best in Choreography for Grand Presentation and Best in Costume. And finally, the special award for the most numbered performers in the contingent was won by Vicenza, Milan, and Padova, Italy. The European Fiesta Signore is held every 2 years, and in 2027, it will be hosted in Modena, Italy by the Filipino Catholic community of Modena in the region of Emilia-Romagna. Dick Villanueva, Bilyonaryo News Channel, Venezia, Italy.
We got more stories for you, plus our horoscope of the day with Master Hans Kua after the break. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Mike, you're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. Let's take a look at the global weather on Weather HQ. China has launched its first airborne survey of marine glaciers in Xinjiang Autonomous Region to study their development, melting patterns, and support natural resource management. The survey began at Renlongba Glacier in Chamdo City and uses a combination of satellite, aerial, and ground-based technologies to overcome challenges posed by high altitudes and harsh conditions. Marine glaciers, which melt and move rapidly, are key indicators of climate change and vital to global water cycles. The survey aims to map their distribution, thickness, and ice reserves to help scientists better understand and predict climate and environmental impacts. Tourism is booming in Albania, but the country's coastline is facing a growing threat from climate change as rising sea levels begin to take a toll. In the protected coastal region of Velipoja, near the border with Montenegro, the sea has already intruded 210 meters inland, encroaching on vital coastal forests. These forests support a fragile ecosystem that cannot survive in saltwater conditions. Albanian authorities have raised alarms, warning that the continued rise in sea levels could lead to widespread flooding in several urban areas, threatening infrastructure, homes, and livelihood. Well, that's it for Weather HQ at the moment. Back to you, girls.
Thank you, Pao. Now, eto na. Is today gonna be your lucky day or not? Let's go find out from our resident energizer and feng shui master, Hans Kua, in our horoscope of the day. Take it away, Master Hans.
Good morning! It's a beautiful day with me, Master Hans Kua. Ito ang horoscope for today, Thursday, May 8. Para sa mga pinanganak ng Year of the Rat, maglaan ng oras para sa relaxation at mental well-being. Fuchsia at 8. Kay Year of the Ox naman tayo mag-focus sa pagiging produktibo sa halip na sa stress. Tial at 6 ang lucky color. Kay Year of the Tiger naman, magsimulang mag-practice ng mindfulness upang mabawasan ang anxiety. Blue at 1. Kay Year of the Rabbit naman tayo, huwag hayaan ang chismis na sisira ng tiwala sa relasyon. Brown at 5. Kay Drago naman tayo maging consistent sa pagsusumikap upang mapansin ka ni Boss. Maroon at 9. Kaya after stick naman tayo kumain ng mas maraming gulay at prutas upang lumakas ang immune system. Gray at 4. Ito naman kayo of the horsey. Maglaan ng oras upang sa date night para mas papanatili ang kilig sa relasyon. Purple at 2. Kay Year of the Ship naman tayo magtabi ng budget para sa isang summer getaway kasama ang buong pamilya. Orange at 7. Kay Year of the Monkey naman magtipid sa kuryente at tubig upang makatulong sa pagbabawas ng gastusin. Violet at 8. Kay Year of the Rooster naman tayo magsimula ng regular na exercise upang mapanatili ang lakas. Red at 6. Kay Dog naman tayo mag-relax at magbakasyon upang mapawi ang stress. Aqua at 3. Kay Year of the Pig naman, siguraduhin na ang sapat na pahinga upang mapanatili ang focus. Beige at 9. Ako po si Master Hans-Gua. Paalala lang, ito po'y patnubay lamang. Ang tunay na swerte ay nagsisimula sa pagiging totoo. Abangan araw-araw ang horoscope of the day. Dito lang po sa It's a Beautiful Day with me, Master Hans-Gua.
That's always my favorite part. Thank you so much, Master Hans-Gua. Ayan, meron daw akong summer getaway, so I need to save money for that.
But you are getting a summer getaway. You're going to the U.S. in June.
That's right. I'm so excited.
So you have to save money for that.
So workout ka raw mo?
Yeah, I'm working out by eating so much cake this week.
That's not how it works!
I'm on a
Okay,
break.
naman yun namumove yung jaw mo, so it's like exercising your jaw.
Oh, my jaw will be so snatched
And
because
then
of eating so much cake.
exercising your digestive system. So exercise pa rin siya.
That is not how it works.
What was your horoscope?
Kalimutan ko na yan.
More time daw for date night.
Date night.
Oh, perfect since the girlfie is moving back to Manila.
Yeah, soon,
More
soon,
And
time.
I'm going to Boracay soon too, right?
Yes, I am. We're leaving you alone here.
I know. Ferdy's going to be joining me, so there.
Wow,
Ayun.
spoilers already.
Spoiler alert.
Well, up ahead, don't go away because would you guys take back an ex who played the field during your break? That conversation after the break on Love Hacks with Coach V. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back. Hello, hello, welcome back. You're still watching It's a Beautiful Day. We're moving past the debate of whether Ross and Rachel were on a break. The question in today's Love Hacks is, would you take them back knowing they dated other people during the break? Coach V answers this question in today's Love Hacks. Take it away, Coach V.
Good morning, loves. It's a beautiful day. Coach V here, your go-to love solution provider, bringing you a brand new way to level up your love life. Welcome to Love Hacks. Today's hot tea, you break up, they explore. You heal, glow, and move on, and suddenly, they come knocking with a Spotify playlist and an apology. Do you take them back? Or send them straight to the We Had a Good Run Hall of Fame? Let's talk about it. Because some people don't come back for love. They come back because they got rejected. Let's take a look at our story this morning. Anne?
To everyone that had a long-term relationship, would you still accept your ex even though they dated someone during the time you two split up? Papayag pa ba kayong tanggapin yung long-term ex nyo if bumalik sila kahit after nyo nakipag-date na sila? Additional question, gaano katagal yung acceptable sa inyo? Like, tatanggapin nyo ba sila 3 months after your relationship tapos nakipag-date sila?
Let's unpack this. Nako, the heartbreak math here. You were the ride or die. They hit a speed bump and rode off with somebody else. Now they want a U-turn back into your heart. Let me ask you, love, would someone who truly loved you, mind, body, and soul, even have the capacity to entertain someone new while you're still fresh in the system? Because here's the truth, love. When somebody is truly in love with you, what happens to their brain is this. It hyper-focuses on their partner. Even just thinking of cheating becomes mentally exhausting. So if they cheat on you, alam mo na. So if they accidentally fell into someone else during the break, they weren't heartbroken. They were long available. And if they apologize for it before and it happened again, nako, that's no longer a mistake. That's a habit and a cute outfit. And here's the truth that stings. If a man can't control his urges when he's technically single, he definitely won't control them when you're officially together. Self-control is not conditional on your Facebook status. If he can't say no when it's easy to walk away, he won't say no when the temptation comes during the relationship. So ladies, would you take back an ex who went out with another woman just because you were on a break or you had a fight?
And go
We had
ahead.
a fight?
I'm gonna make you go
no,
first.
I'm trying to make it clear.
Diba
What is the
sometimes-
situation? You
diba
broke up
sometimes
or you just fought?
Right. Sometimes you fought. Tapos diba, there's this hiwalay na tayo. And then the next few days, he was already out on a date.
Oh, okay. If
And
that
then
is
he
the
would say,
situation,
technically, we were on a
break.
Diba?
Yeah.
Mga ganyan. Technicality, dinadalo sa technicality. How would you feel about that?
If that were the case,
Yeah.
the way you described it, they fought and then after nilang mag-break, he started seeing someone else, I'd probably say no.
No taking
Yeah,
back?
kasi that is the situation.
But
But okay, elaborate.
Yeah.
No, because
I thought you had a second part.
And then we'll ask.
Yeah, it happened
go
to me.
ahead.
So we broke up, but we didn't have a fight. We just mutually had a breakup. We agreed that okay, we have different plans and we went
He
our
dated
separate
with-
ways.
okay.
So and then when we were apart, he
Dated
was seeing
somebody
someone
else?
else, and I was also seeing someone else. And then we got back together, and now we're still together.
Look at this. This is the exemption, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on
Yes.
why you broke up,
Right.
and it's a situation
Got
thing.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. How about you, Monique? How will you
Typically,
feel?
No. For me, no. Because like you said, if they were that available that quickly after we're
Quickly,
like fighting or after we broke up, then obviously they were already micro-cheating before we broke
Good
up.
point.
But unless kind of like what Anne said, unless you guys broke up and it was amicable and you guys went your separate ways and eventually down the line later on you guys get back together, then that's different, right? It's not,
Okay.
I feel like on purpose that you guys are seeing each other. You're just trying to figure out if it's really meant to be or not. I don't know.
All right, thank you, Mo. Now let's go to Pao. Pao, I have a question for you. Imagine
go.
you are in a relationship and then you break up for 2 weeks. Do you have the capacity
Ang bilis naman ng 2 weeks.
to go on a date again on the
too
3rd
fast.
week?
Wait, kasi when you break up,
Kaya mo yan, Pao.
are you done? Is it done? Like, kasi at the end of the day,
Done.
for me, moving on at its own pace, whichever floats the person's boat, diba? Is it gonna be a problem? Depende on the situation, how you broke up.
Yeah.
Right? If it were something na tipong, let's say you were together for extended period of time, but then it was petering out for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really feel like a relationship in the end. What are you going to do? And at the same time, like you said, sometimes there's cheating, may revenge
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
So I
may
think the
ganun.
question here is, does a man has the capacity to quickly
Oh, I think anyone
jump
has the
boat?
capacity.
I think
anyone has the
immediately.
capacity.
I feel like both men and women
Yeah.
have that capacity.
Oh, I've seen both ways. Yeah, that's true.
So it's a per situation basis.
Yes,
Gotcha.
it
So what do
is.
you feel about the letter sender? Was she just being bitter or does she have
Bitter.
terms na... Kasi what happened was the man came back to him.
To her.
So to her. And so her question was, is he coming back because he loves me or is he coming back because he couldn't get anyone
Well, but
better?
how long were they apart? See,
Daming detalye.
that's why you need to know
Yeah.
details
So I think
before
we have to
judging.
operate.
to
We have
judge.
to operate on a general terms. Like,
Kasi
what is your gut feeling tell you?
Ako, for me, as long as hindi siya safety net. Like, if she ends up feeling like a safety net,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back
then
up.
I am like, wag
Yes.
na. Right? Kasi at the end of the day, syempre yung value mo, you should be the first choice, not the last choice.
Right. So, Pao, do you agree when science says that if you're really in love with somebody, you tend to hyper-focus on them? So there's no way that you could be dating or seeing multiple people at the same time if you're really in love with your girl.
I think that if you're seeing someone else already, then obviously
it's not it.
Hindi ka invested. You're not there.
Gotcha.
So,
all right. So, ladies and gents, having said that, here is your breakup to glow up guide. Number 1, if they could be taken away easily, they're not worth keeping. A quality partner doesn't bounce, they rebuild. Number 2, if they dated around while you were broken, they were never planning to heal with you. They just wanted a distraction immediately. 3, if you're the one who had to hold the pain while they had the pleasure, sis, you're not a placeholder, you are the plot twist. And 4, watch what they do, not what they say. Sasabihin nila, I made a mistake. It's cute, but did they grow? Or just circle back because you were the safest option. And finally, the biggest glow up, not going back to what broke you. Because love isn't about timelines, it's about alignment. That's it for today, love. If someone can replace you, sleep with somebody else, and then come back with a sweet message and second chance request, don't confuse their panic with passion. Remember, loves, if they lack discipline when they were out of a relationship, they will lack loyalty too when they're in one. A man who can't say no to short-term thrills will never be a long-term material. Remember, you're not a backup plan. You are the blueprint. And so, ladies and gents, when your ex slides back with a I still love you and that I made a mistake energy, check if they're serious or just single. This is Coach V, your daily dose of sass, science, and second chances, only if it's worth it. DM your dilemmas at Dating Coach V, and let's break it all down. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Love you.
I like that second chances, but only if it's worth it. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Bakit yung face ni Paolo?
Bakit ka nag-react ng Pao? Nag-react siya dun.
Close-up na natin direct yung reaction na.
Pao, you reacted dun sa if they sleep with somebody else during on a break.
Kasi,
we saw that.
Kasi, when you, para sa akin kasi, if you break up with someone, wag ka na mag-U-turn. You're there. Like, if you plan to go back to that person, or you're even considering to go back to the person after dating other people, it's like, did you really get rid of all the issues that you had in the past?
Well, but
it doesn't solve it.
But sometimes, though, in a rare case, people date other people and then they realize after a while, right? Like you can't just like date for like a month and then say, oh, I want you back. Obviously, it's a rebound. But if it's been years, right? And then you guys find your way back to each other, then that's fine.
That's different. Hindi yung mga tipong like, oh, you spend like a month or two apart.
That one is
different.
Is really shady. That one is really shady.
Diba?
Masyadong maliit yung time.
The gap.
Diba?
The gap
Yung
was
gap.
too
Like you really need time to reflect and think. Like, are you guys
Could you
really
just
meant to each
imagine
other?
them like jumping on and sleeping with somebody else just because you break up?
Just because you break up, that's not the same. For me, that's not the same thing.
Sometimes you don't really plan on going back to that person. It just happens. You know, like
pero siguro naman not like a month later.
Oh, not a month later.
It's the time.
It's the time.
So later.
So I guess for our Reddit poster, it depends on the time, right? Because what she's saying, she didn't really give us details, but how long have they been apart, right? So if it's been a short time, then you know you're just the rebound. But if it's been like years, at least a year, I feel like, then maybe
you can open.
Don't be the rebound.
I think the Reddit user, because she mentioned is 3 months okay.
Diba?
So
She was
probably,
asking.
so probably
3 months is still
3
too
months.
short.
That's
Too
too
short still. I feel like at least 1 year.
But for me, the time is relative depending on how long you were together. But I also feel that I mean, like, be single. Like you're, at that point, feeling ko she still feels attached to the guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like she
Too
still
fresh still.
Yeah, it still feel like they were connected. Like there wasn't really a break. That's how it feels like. Ross and Rachel. Right? You know, just looking at all of that. But okay, we could go and talk about this a lot more, and then people will be debating on TikTok again. But then that is it for us on this Thursday, May 8. Coach V, maraming salamat. Thank you so much for all of that, and causing a lot of problems after the show because we're going to debate about this after.
We
always do. I'm Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
I'm Anne Asis-Carilo. Thank you for making us your daily morning habit. Remember to always choose joy and spread love and kindness wherever you go.
And I'm Monique Tuzon. Have a great Thursday ahead. Join us again tomorrow, Friday at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. only here on
It's a Beautiful Day.